Here we go. Dabei. To be honest, I was playing football like every kid in Germany starts with, like at the age of 4 or 5. With 12, I figured out that there is not much talent. And people told me kindly. And then I was okay, what to do? Luckily, there was a neighbor's kid that played basketball. And his mother told my mother, why don't you put him to basketball? It's like, you know, tall people are very welcome there, and that's how I started. I went to first basketball practice when I was 12 and got stuck with it.
And probably it was Detlef Schrempf who was like a main basketball player, main star in Germany at this time, and probably...
I cannot even say, because I was like, there's no basketball in the news, no basketball on TV, there's no... Like the first basketball player I knew was actually like some NBA guys, because you had those Converse basketball shoes where like Magic Johnson, Larry Bird, those were the guys. German basketball was so unpopular, like I didn't know too many German basketball players at that time.
Do you know Šarūnas Sakalauskas, who was coaching Bremerhaven like 8 years, and you grow in this city?
Yes, I know him pretty well. Like I was not there at that time anymore. But I played for the Outland Dragons at that time, and we played them quite a bunch. And my head coach there and they had a good relationship. They were exchanging basketball thoughts, and so I got to know him. And later on, when I was coaching, we played with Bamberg. We played against Ratais, and Šarūnas was living in Vilnius at that time. He was running a basketball school there. We visited him, and again, like every once in a while we text, so I know him pretty well.
You had some contacts with other Lithuanian coaches or players when you come to Kaunas?
I know, like it's a funny story. I played when I was young, and my first professional station, I got there. There was 2 Lithuanian players. At that time, they were refugees leaving the Soviet Union, and they were coming to that club, and I got to know them and I got friends with them. And then we split again because they went a different way and I went a different way. And when I signed here via Facebook, one of the guys actually texted me and said, hey man, I read you're coming to Lithuania, how great is that? And I live here now. He lives in Vilnius. So after, like that was 92, so after 28 years, I see him again, and coming to his country and seeing like where he lives and where he's from, actually, it was pretty nice.
They are not famous players?
No, not famous players. Like he went as a kid to Germany, played there, then got some business started there and quit basketball, and now he's into business.
Mm-hmm. And the main coach probably in your career, it was Chris Fleming.
Exactly.
You
yes.
worked in Bamberg, yeah.
We
remember this time?
We played together for the Outland Dragons. Then he became coach. He coached me. Then he got me into coaching as well. And then we had a pretty long relationship, playing together, coaching together.
Few times you already was a main coach in Cologne and Bremerhaven. Do you still have ambitions to try to become a main coach again?
First of all, I would say for me it's important not if I'm head coach or assistant coach. It's like the role that I have needs to be valuable for the club. And so to me, the situation here and the situation how it was, for example, in Bamberg with Chris Fleming was, I felt what I did was helping the club, the players, the team, although I was in an assistant coach position. So I feel fine in my position, and I don't think I have to be head coach. I'm fine being assistant coach if what I do is really is valuable for anybody.
Do you follow some coach philosophy or some examples?
I mean, there are coaches that I like. I like what they do. I like how they teach. But in general, I got to say it's a little bit like taking pieces from everybody to find my own, like the way I would like to do stuff. So I think that's more important than just following one guy, because there's so many good coaches, and like, you know, take the stuff that you like, take the stuff that fits your team maybe, and then you can actually get something good out of it.
Is it possible to take some piece from a coach who probably is the most popular coach from Germany in the world, Jürgen Klopp?
He is a very, very interesting coach, and it's really nice to listen to what he has to say, because I think usually he has to say good things, and I think he found a place. Like, I mean, he was very successful in Germany, of course, but like now in England, it's interesting that he can, with his kind of style and his kind of personality, that he really functions so well outside of Germany, where I thought British coaches are different, but he's so, like, he really is working fine there and is very successful. It's really nice also to usually hear what he has to say, because he says good things.
Can you tell me a little bit more about your role in the team? What is your daily work?
Daily work is a lot of stuff, of course, preparing next opponents, and working on strategies, what the next opponent does, how we would want to attack it, or the other way around, how they defended us now going into the second round of the EuroLeague, and how we want to attack them. Then working individually with like the bigs, before practice, in practice, and after practice, and yeah, doing like drill work in practice. This is pretty much most of the stuff I'll do.
And probably work with the big guys.
Exactly, yes.
Can you tell me about Geoffrey Laverne, for example, about his instability? Maybe if we can say that, of course, opponents are different, but one day he scored 29 points, and the next game 4 points. What are the reasons?
I think Geoffrey is a player that, like his last stations in his career, he was always like playing very limited minutes, and mistakes sent him to the bench, I would say it like that. And he, for sure, is for us, he's way more important, and he found a way, I think, and he's still a little bit looking for the way, but he found a way getting back into this big role, where we need him to play. And obviously after a couple of years not playing such a big role, it's a progress. And I think he's getting better and better into that role, but he will also have, like every player, which is human nature, and especially with the amount of games we play, it will not be a steady line. It's a little bit like this, and of course we would all love to see him every time play like he did against Kimki, but the reality is, there's like, if you play good, the opponents put an eye on you and they want to limit you, and this is, you know, top level league, and so it's not always that easy, especially for big man who is also, he needs guys to feed him, guys to play with. So there will be ups and downs, but I think the development of Jojo in this season compared to last season or the last seasons is a good upside for us.
And the same with Augustin Rubit, who had eight games span when he had doubles index ratings numbers, and last 4 games it was all lower.
Augustin had injury early in the preseason, and it took him a while to get integrated. And once he got there, he was also very, very good for us. And yes, the last couple of games, his shot wasn't falling. Here and there, he couldn't produce as much as he did in this good stretch of 8 games. But I'm pretty sure he will be back. Like it's just, you know, again, it's a matter of games, and obviously after like when you play that good, everybody wants him to play that good, but it's really hard to stay up there. And now he had a couple of games where he wasn't that effective, but I'm pretty sure he will be back at that level because he can do that.
What are your impressions about Martin Geben, also Marek Blažević?
I think it's two very interesting players. It's Marty obviously is a little older, and you see that experience that he has, that he can, like, say it like this, he comes in at the third big position for us, behind Joffrey and Augustine, and we can really rely. He's a very good rebounder in those minutes, and he gives us physicality. He's pretty athletic. He scores above the rim, so and we can rely on that. And you see, this is where, as a third string big, I would say he's pretty effective. If we look at his, probably as his, in 40 minutes, he would be one of the most effective bigs in the EuroLeague. And Marek is, for a 19-year-old big, where we all know bigs develop a little later, he's got pretty far, you know, and it's like we're all waiting for him to make big steps in like, although he already made big steps, especially body-wise, I think he has a EuroLeague body already, and yeah, we're all excited to see how he will progress in the next couple years, but also in the next couple of months, because he moved up pretty quick.
Man who bring you to Kaunas, who invited you to Kaunas was Martino Schillerio. We know that you was working together in Germany national team coach stuff. What you found new about Martino Schillerio in Kaunas?
I gotta say, I mean, before we were both assistant coaches, and even if you're assistant coach, you exchange thoughts about what could be done, what could we do, and now working so tight together, obviously you learn a lot of different stuff from when you just work in the summers for the national team. So, I mean, he obviously, in an assistant coach role, you don't know how he can run a team, how he's communicating, and this is, I think, where he's got like big strength of getting guys together and selling his concept. And this is definitely stuff that I didn't know. I thought it could be like that because obviously we talked before and we talked a lot, and he told me what his plan was, and it's working. So I thought, like, I'm not surprised, not at all, but to see it and to be part of it is big, and that's something that I didn't know before.
What you like most in Martin Schillerio as a coach and also as a person?
I think he is very open and he's a great communicator. He has no. He's not shy of talking to people and directing people, but he does that in a good way. Like he's somebody who's very positive, and he likes to get his stuff done with positive hints. I would say it like that. He really takes care that everybody's on board, and he doesn't leave anybody behind. And this is a big strength, and I think this is one reason why we are where we are right now, because, you know, everybody on the team, I thought after, I can imagine it's strange for a club like Kaunas to go that way, to bring somebody in that had almost no experience or had no experience on this level, and he got pretty quick everybody in this inner circle on his side, and that's something that is his personality. He's just very good at that, and he does the same with the staff. Like, our staff is pretty tight, I would say. We all go in one direction, and that's him. He made that happen, which is big from his personality out.
He's so intelligent and so positive, as you said, but also he is a human. Maybe he has some bad characteristics.
He has one weakness. That's definitely how he drinks coffee. Like he just doesn't drink enough coffee. That's one weakness I gotta say.
He's drinking tea.
No, he drinks coffee, but not at my level. So maybe it's my weakness that I drink too much coffee. Okay. But there's something that I gotta say. I gotta always tell him, okay, you gotta drink more coffee.
Very big weakness. Coach, it was it's good season for some players like Marius Grigonis, Tomas Volkop, also some other guys, and probably they had interested from other EuroLeague big teams. Was you worried before the EuroLeague deadline? It was in January 6th day that they can leave team.
If they would want to leave, I never thought about it. Like honestly, I have a good feeling. Like I have a feeling that we have a very good group of guys, and obviously I cannot say if somebody puts out a lot of money. Like I would not blame anybody if he leaves. But on the other side, I thought like the group is functioning well. I think the guys like each other, and they like to be here. And so I was not even thinking about that somebody would leave. But in the end, it's professional sport, and if it would have happened, that's how it is. But you know, I mean, that's on the other side. That's part of being in this organization. We for sure are not the richest club, and can like put a lot of money to players, especially in this compared to everybody else in this league. But guys get better; they get the chances here, and I mean, so many great basketball players came from Kaunas. Obviously, we don't want them to leave during the season, but that's part of the DNA of this club. We find good players, and we develop good players.
Maybe you have some information about Steve Vasturia, or also Patricio Garino, when can they back?
I mean, both guys are like progressing, like our doctor said. You know, it's slowly but steady. They are working now on the court, which they haven't done before. Before they were just working individually with the athletic department. Now they're working on the court. We don't know how long it's going to take till they do actually be part of team practice. But I think if you see the smile on the face when they finally have a basketball on their hand and they're running up and down, even though they're doing it without contact, they are moving in the right direction.
Current situation with COVID, when Marek, with whom you probably had some workouts, how much it concerns all team and your and also Martin Schillerio job?
I mean, it's all around. You can't look away from it. But I gotta say, we get tested so many times. I feel like if it happens, it happens, but we'll find out quick, like we did with Marek. When he felt he didn't feel good, he got self-isolated. We tested him, we found out, and at the same time, we all got tested. So, yes, you think about it, because after we got the test done, you're waiting for the results, and you want to know, okay, what's the situation? Also, we got a plan. Practice. Can we practice? Who can practice? And so on. It's difficult, but it's not the first time. I think every time, like when you know, like you get tested in the morning and you know this is a time where the results come, and here comes the text from Mindaugas, and you be like, okay, let's see what's happening. And so far we got away with it pretty good. But obviously it can happen. It can happen anywhere, and it's not just because we play basketball, or it could happen in the grocery store, you know, so we can't influence that. We got to deal with whatever comes up, but I thought the club has dealt with it so far pretty good. And again, the many times we get tested, I feel pretty secure that if something pops up, we know right away.
Now you will play against Olympiacos, who is also in the 4 or 5 team mix also with Žalgiris, who are fighting for the last tickets to playoff. How do you like this overall situation?
I think we put us in a good position, like with the results of the first round. Obviously, playing Olympiacos now, who is tied with us with the same record, a win would put us in a good situation in the head-to-head with them, because we definitely would have the head-to-head there. But also, we're early in the second round. Is this a game that will, be decisive, making the top 8 or not? It's not. But it gives us a good chance to get a little separation from one team that definitely is top 8 caliber.